Hey there, welcome to LearnPianoLive.com. This is an advanced lesson. So this is for students who are known by their friends as a pianist. You've got hopefully some knowledge of chords, maybe some sheet music reading, some sight reading skills. You know chords. You've been playing enough to impress almost all of your friends with your piano skills. So if that's you, you're in the right place. If you're in the lesson and it feels way too advanced, you might want to go check out yesterday's lesson, the intermediate version of this week's topic, or the lesson before that, the beginner's lesson, because those will break down the same concepts, only easier. So, but if you are an advanced student, then ask away. No question is too advanced or too obscure. So this is just all about you. You got to ask me the questions so I know what to answer and know how to help you out best. There's a couple other things I want to talk to you about too before this countdown clock gets to 0. All right, first and most important, ask a lot of questions. The way that you're going to do that is there's a couple different ways. You can jump in the chat room and talk with the other students who are logged in at the same time. I'll be watching the chat room too. You ask your questions there, or if it's a question that's just for me, a question about the lesson, especially if you know it's one that's going to fit best at the question and answer time at the end, then you can just put your name and your question in the box below this video, click submit, and then I will get that. Now, if you're already in the archives, if you're watching this not live, but you're watching this in the archives, then make sure at the end of the lesson you click on the survey button. You don't have to fill out the entire survey. If you want to, I mean, I'd love your feedback, but really the best part of that is that you can put your question in there, and then when you click submit, then I will get all of your questions. I'll make sure that you get them answered, whether you're in the archives or you're live. Right next to this video, there should be a PDF button and an MP3 button. Now, you don't really need those till after the lesson because I'm going to be showing you on screen the PDF and showing you how to use it. And I'll play the MP3 during the lesson too, so you know at the end of the lesson how you're going to use that. Some people, though, like to print out the PDF ahead of time, so as I'm making notes on my version, they can make the same notes on their version, but works either way. All right, this is perhaps the most important part. You need to leave the lesson when you feel like you're sufficiently challenged. So, I'm teaching these lessons, 12 to 15 lessons a month. Normally, in traditional lessons, you're getting like a lesson every other week or so. So this is just way too much for you to take in. So, the goal is for you to get some little nugget of something that you can really practice on, really work on. Once you feel like you have that, then you really don't need anything else from me. Go practice. That's where this stuff is really going to happen. You're not going to get through this lesson and be able to play something really well. You're going to get through this lesson and have the information that you need to practice more effectively. That's really the goal here. So don't feel bad about taking off early. If you feel like halfway through the lesson you got as much as you can take in at that time, then go practice that thing, and then come back whenever you've got that thing down, or you're bored with it, or you just want to check out the next topic. Don't forget also that you've got the archives too. So if you want to see one little thing, just repeat it over and over and over. Just give me, hopefully within 24 hours after the lesson, this thing will be up in the archives, so you can just go back and watch it over and over and over and over and just get that little segment down. All right, today we're doing everybody's favorite topic. Out of the 8 sectors of musicianship, the one that everybody always likes the most is application. That's where you finally actually get to play a song. So if you've been here for the last couple weeks, you'll notice a lot of the same concepts popping up today, because we're going to take those concepts, we're going to apply them to a very specific song. If you haven't been here, don't worry about it. I'll show you how to play all of our little concepts. So hopefully at the end of today's lesson, you'll have all the tools to practice an actual real song that you can play for your friends and impress them. Let's go. All right, welcome back. Let's try covering this thing for realsies. So this, again, we've done 2 lessons on it now. First day we just talked about how to play all the notes and stuff, and then yesterday we talked about how it's all put together and why it's put together the way it is and how predictable it is. And so made a a couple comments at the end of the lesson about how it's going to be interesting to come up with some variations on this thing to make it sound interesting. So a couple notes on that then after your comments. I apparently did not make the point strong enough that predictability is perfectly fine. That means that people are going to like your song, and so it's all going to be good. So predictable is great. It's fantastic. In the end, you want the hero to win, or you want the villain to win. You don't probably want both of them to be sucked up into the volcano. So in your songs, you probably don't want to just go on some random tangent. You probably want some kind of conclusion that's going to make your listeners feel like what they were hoping was going to happen happened. You don't want just a random selection of chords. Unless that's your thing, I guess. There are some artists who don't have any fame at all who do that. And so, yes. Philip Glass, look up that name. And then there's a bunch of no, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole of different names. But anyway, so predictability is good. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. In case I didn't make that point yesterday, I thought I did. Predictability is good. And then we're just going to take the same chords for today and not make very many adjustments. Usually we go through, you can't see my, here we go. There's my tablet. Usually we go through these things. We change up the time signature. We change up the tempo. Then we fix the voicings to be what we want them to be. And then we do some lessons on reharmonization, which apparently y'all are loving. So we're going to do lots more reharmonization. But I'm going to go through a lesson. We haven't actually hit the last ones in quite a while. So I'm going to go through a lesson where I just actually go through the entire list and hit all of those. We're not going to do that today, though, because that's going to be like a 2 or 3 hour workshop. Today, what we're going to try to do is just do the major things that we can do to switch up some of the verses and choruses and stuff. So first thing is I'm going to slow it down just a little bit from 105 to about 95 or 90 or so. And that's just to make it sound better on piano for the tools that we've been using, the 151 stuff, as well as, yeah, it feels a little bit loud. Maybe, there we go. Maybe do some of that. Let me know in the chat room what the audio sounds like. I'm using this other old new mic since because see how that works out for playing. So then we've used the 151 thing. We talked a little bit about tenths, and then we've just talked about switching octaves. So I'm going to use just those concepts as well as the things we talked about for voicings, playing the pentatonic scales for all of the. Yesterday we did that whole thing where I played through the chords and just played the pentatonic scale, G flat pentatonic, and it kind of worked all the way through. So I'm just going to be using that voicing, and let's see if we can. Is it possible to get? There we go. Nice. We'll have some of that, so you can see the notes that I'm playing on the sheet music. So I'm going to play through the melody and the chords for pretty much the whole thing. I'll start off with our intro, and we'll see how far we get on this thing. So this is just me playing through using all the most basic tools: high, low, pentatonic scale. I'm using this thing here, if I can remember to sneak that in there somewhere as well. Okay, here we go. Good luck to us all. So something like that then, I guess, would be all the stuff that we've talked about. So pentatonic scales, pretty much just stuck with the 1-5-1 stuff. Threw in some tenths there. What else did we do? Oh, we just did the fifths. And I accidentally changed up some of the voicing. So one of the things we do in our reharm videos is there we go. We switch up the voicings for these things, and we add in slash chords and inversions. It's in the green section. It's one of the common things to do. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. Slash chords and inversions. So we do that pretty commonly. So this B to G flat thing, there were several times where I wanted to not have that jump from B to G flat. So I just went from B to G flat. This is the 3 and the 1 of the G flat. So it's basically the same chord. So instead of, I guess either one of them would have sounded right, but that just, I don't know, felt or sounded, in the moment, it felt like the right thing to do. So a lot of fifths in there in that hand, and then I only sneaked in one of those things there, and it wasn't even a very good sneak in. I just had this at the end of that verse. I don't remember where it is. I had this thing that went for an extra measure, and I should have played that with the left hand and done the swipe with the right hand, but I started the melody, and then my brain, after I had already started the melody for that, and went, hey, this would be a good place to put that. So I kind of tried that. So, and fortunately, I hit a B there on the next one, so that was supposed to be the chord. So yeah, it was. If you want to screw up the same way I screwed up, then that's what we would do. There's one place in there too where I lost my place and I didn't play the E flat minor. I played a G flat or something instead. So there was a wrong chord in there as well. But anyway, that's why the covers usually take multiple takes or a lot more practice or something like that. So I've had that conversation with several of you. But when you see the covers that I do of songs, those are not like my first takes or anything. That's sometimes after literally hundreds of times through the song that I finally get one that I'm happy with. So like that would not make the cut, but I guess it did because it's live. So there we go. What are some other things you need to know about this? I was expecting to play through it a couple more times than that. Maybe we do that while you throw your questions in. And yep, there we go. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I'll talk through it this time. I won't turn my mic off. So the beginning, pretty much anything in the pentatonic scale is going to work for a voicing here. E flat minor. This is all just random black notes. And then the melody. There's in there, it's I didn't put that one in there because I don't think it sounds good on piano. If you're a vocalist, you could get away with that, but I didn't think it sounded good. So I don't think I played that one even once in the song, even though it was in the song. I just never felt it was going to be right. So that's my G flat again. There's my E flat minor, and there's D flat. There's my G flat again, right here. And then B, flat minor to D flat to B to A flat minor. It was the bridge. And then we've got that half chorus thing that we talked a lot about yesterday. Which is still supposed to be kind of low key, and then they go into the actual chorus. So all the lighter stuff, the low key stuff, low key, I'm playing up on the higher keys because this is all going to feel more fragile, brittle, pretty, glittery. It's going to feel smaller. This stuff is going to feel a lot bigger down there. So when I want to make the song feel bigger, I'm going to gear this whole thing down. I was not happy with my rhythm on that at all. Yeah. That sounds fine. Why can't you do it like that? Anyway. And then I realized I hadn't really done a whole lot of pentatonic voicings up until then. So at the end of it, when I wanted to end the song, I just played the pentatonic scales, all black notes. Probably went longer than I should have. Like if I was, going to work it out for an actual cover, it'd probably be something like if I wanted to use that idea. Anyway, all G flat stuff. There you go. So that's kind of the application of all the stuff that we talked about yesterday that in theory should work and kind of does. So then let's do our wrap up, which is kind of what we're already working on. Yes. Okay, hang on. Just want to make sure I'm getting all of our questions. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So So the reharm stuff that we would normally do here, I really want to save that for another song, and a song, more importantly, that everybody is going to know. Most people, I think, from the feedback I've gotten, don't know this song really at all. So we're gonna, I am gonna save that reharm stuff, but it still works for all this stuff. I mean, I did one of them accidentally with the whole slash chord thing, and then you can do all your substitution stuff. What would that be? Yeah. That would all totally work in there. Yeah, so all the reharm tools, use them all there too, and you can come up with your own versions of this song. But again, I want to save that stuff and not get distracted like I always do. We've talked, I think we've broken this thing down about as much as possible, talking about all the verses and the choruses and the melody and the chords and all that stuff. There should be plenty for you to practice in there, and it looks like that is the majority of the comments and questions is just stuff about what you wish I would do now. And it's all stuff that I want to do. So the schedule right now only has this week, next week, and the next week on it, which is this week is the application. It's got another topic next week, and then the next week is going to be an application. And then I haven't put that up yet because the following weeks, because I'm wanting to do more of the reharm videos, the solo videos, a lot more of the songwriting videos. That I appreciate all the good feedback on that. We have since even changed the PDF even further from our original workshops. So more of that stuff to come, as well as this thing with Kendra that we're going to be doing the YouTube video stuff. I know you guys are waiting on that. But the baby got in the way. What are we going to do? Huh? The baby got in the way. So we're back on track. I think it's scheduled for Tuesday at 11 o'clock California time. Yeah. We're looking forward to that. And until next time, which should be Monday, unless there's another baby. Good luck. Have fun. I love you. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.